Recently, Laksmi reached out with some images of her art and asked me, is my art saleable? Part of me thinks she's really asking, is my art good enough to sell? Hi, my name is Carrie, and I want you to proudly call yourself artist. Here on Artist Strong, we help you build your skill and develop your unique artist voice. Today, let's talk about when it's time to start selling your art. Do you have work to sell? The first thing I suggest you address is whether or not you have a body of art. In Lakshmi's case, she showed me several works completed in a similar style. I have a few articles on creating a body of work I've also linked below. How to create a body of art, 6 reasons to create a body of art, 3 ways to build a body of art. Creating a series or group of works to offer when you sell your art gives a range of choices to your potential buyers. It also means you have more than one piece to sell at a time if people express interest. Selling art in groups at one time instead of piecemeal, one piece at a time, as you make them, is another kind of batching. Essentially, this saves you time and helps you make more money and more art. I'll link my batching article below too. Do you have an audience? My second question is, do you have an audience to sell your work to? I started, and still sometimes do, by announcing I had a few works for sale on my personal Facebook wall. It was an easy, low-risk way to see if people were interested. If you are on social media, it never hurts to put your work up and announce it's for sale. It's one way to see if anyone you know is interested in your art. I highly recommend writing a blog and/or having an email newsletter because both are great ways to build relationships with people, to have an audience who is interested in your art. Do you want a business? My third question is, are you ready to have a business? A lot of people who talk to me about selling their art don't actually want to sell their art. Because listen carefully here, selling your art regularly means you are running a business. You are not going to magically find a gallery who wants to do all the business side for you. And unless you hire yourself an administrative assistant to manage the business, you are both the maker and manager of your art. You might be surprised to see that my questions have nothing to do with the quality of Lakshmi's art. And that's because I don't think it matters as much as we worry it does. I also believe that selling our art to validate the work is a messy, dangerous decision. Work that doesn't immediately sell isn't bad and doesn't mean you're a bad artist. It just means you didn't find a buyer. If you know selling your work is a way to justify to yourself that your time spent is worth it, that you are skillful enough, that you are good enough, I don't think you're ready to sell your art. Your art is good enough to sell when you think your art is good enough to sell. Let's pause here a moment to thank today's sponsor. This post from Artist Strong is brought to you by the Artist Strong Studio, our community of patrons who believe in and wish to support this work. It is a community of creatives who not only support Artist Strong with their micro donations, but also engage in meaningful discussions on topics like today's conversation. You can become part of the Artist Strong Studio for a small monthly commitment as low as $1 a month. To learn more, visit www.patreon.com/artiststrong. A special thank you to current patrons. I couldn't do this work without your support. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, share, and subscribe. Now it's your turn. What ahas or questions has this conversation brought up for you? Tell me more in the comments below. Remember, proudly call yourself artist. We are Artist Strong. Thanks for watching and see you next time.